Welcome to the second episode of Mochi Mail, hopefully on time this time around. A man going live on Facebook outside in the streets pulled out a gun, showing it into the camera. Because it was live streamed, the police was able to arrive 15 minutes later and arrested him. Like, how stupid can you be? You're literally streaming this outside. Like, they can see your location. They can literally see where you are. Why would you be so stupid? Really like fish in a barrel, god damn. While streamer Young Fika was streaming in his car, he noticed someone starting a fire. The streamer then went to the fire and extinguished it with the fire extinguisher he had in his car. Don't commit arson, like what the heck? That person was literally just starting a fire out of nowhere. It's insane. Don't do that. Obviously. That could hurt people. Anthem players log into the game one more time to say goodbye before the servers shut down forever. This game server memorial becomes more and more of a trend as more and more games shut down their servers. We're sure all 12 Anthem players had a great time mourning the game, or mourning the shutdown. We're all proud of you. But it does become more of a trend, because more and more games are like, you know what, we're just ending service, which, especially for paid games, shouldn't be the case. Stop killing games. I'm just saying. Malaysia and Indonesia blocked access to Elon Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok over the weekend. The chatbot was blocked due to concerns that the tool was being used to generate non-consensual, sexually explicit content. X's public and private responses amid the controversy have failed to satisfy the concerns of regulators in Indonesia and Malaysia. I can't just shake my head. Like, what the heck? We all know you can turn it off. Like, just turn it off, man. It's so sickening. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that Elon Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok will join Google's generative AI engine in operating inside the Pentagon network. This is part of a broader push to feed as much of the military's data as possible into the developing technology. This announcement comes shortly after Grok AI drew global outcries and scrutiny towards it by generating deepfake images of users without their consent. Why? Do they want to generate images of soldiers in bikinis, or what the heck's going on? Or without clothing at all? The war against piracy in the anime space sees a small new development as big companies are targeting some sites. Netflix, Disney, and Crunchyroll are targeting sites like 9anime and AnimeSuge, among others. I mean, the problem is that these sites do not host the episodes themselves. They use third-party services, so even if you take those sites down, they can just be rebuilt very quickly. That will not take care of the root problem of piracy. And also, piracy has always existed in the anime community. You will not be able to stop it with something like that. We got the ICE list before the Epstein list, as the identities of around 4,500 federal agents were shared with the ICE list website by a whistleblower. The data before the leak included information on around 2,000 agents and 150 supervisors, according to Dominic Skinner, who launched the ICE list. This number is now up to 6,500. And because Skinner doesn't live in the US, or the website isn't hosted by the US, it cannot be taken down, by the way. So, good luck, have fun. You can just look it up. A Russian air defense missile reportedly struck a residential building in the Russian city of Rostov-on-Don overnight on January 14th. This occurred according to eyewitness reports and footage uploaded to social media. More statements and verifications are needed to see whether this was the result of a missile missing a drone or not. War is bad. Like, stop. You're even hurting your own people. What the fuck? Just stop these foolish fucking actions, man. Yes, war is bad. That's a brave take, I know. But seriously, war is bad. It is just bad. For the first time ever, 7 in 10 people now live 5 years after their cancer diagnosis. This is according to the ACS's annual report released Tuesday and published in the organization's medical journal. The new data also shows that survival rates have improved dramatically over the past decade for people diagnosed with some of the more fatal cancers. Hey, some uplifting news, finally. We need more shit like this. More like this, please. I don't want to report about war all the time. New developments in the case of the US trying to obtain Greenland. Denmark is sending military equipment and advanced troops to Greenland to prepare for a potential conflict with the US. Further developments are still awaited. Let's not have World War III break out 2 weeks into goddamn January, or 3 weeks. Okay? Thank you. There are some serious allegations about Turkey Tom by 2 of his exes on Kiwi farms. These exes accuse him of being an abusive and horny creep. He also apparently loves to do naughty stuff with e-girls but criticizes OnlyFans in his videos. It's always the people you expect the most, Tom. No, seriously, if the witness reports are true, this guy's a real creep. Like, what the heck? Grandma Crackers, a grandma who started a Minecraft Let's Play with all the revenue going towards her grandson's cancer treatment, made a statement. Congratulations to her grandson. He's now cancer-free. Yes, more news like this. I swear, more news like this, please. The Lee County Sheriff's Office arrested 3 men accused of stealing over $10,000 worth of Pokemon cards and attempting to resell them. A network of card shops working together was able to warn another shop of these men. The people working at the shop recognized the men, called the cops, and then stalled some time for the cops to arrive. Team Rocket IRL, like seriously, what the heck is going on, man? Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards. There were also some other reports about armed robberies for Pokemon cards. What the heck? What are you sitting in for? I stole Pokemon cards. This ain't how the prison story goes. The situation between the US and the EU is looking bleak. Trump is still intent on conquering Greenland, according to the words of the Danish minister. After some talks with the White House, NATO nations are starting to deploy troops and soldiers to Greenland. Please, no World War III. Seriously, man. No World War III, please. Grok is now blocked from undressing images in the following countries: China, Iran, Myanmar, North Korea, Russia, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Other countries like Malaysia and India have already took measures against Grok in general. Even more countries are starting investigations into Grok's features to restrict access. So you can turn that off, it seems, or restrict the access for this feature. You just chose not to. That is fucking sickening, by the way. More on Trump's plan to seize Greenland. The president said that he may put tariffs on countries if they don't go along with his plans because they need Greenland for national security. The president wants to seize this Arctic island, which is part of the territory of NATO ally Denmark. Do these threats even matter at all? Like, seriously, Trump seems like a guy who, oh no, it's raining outside. Guess I'll put a tariff on goddamn Denmark. Like, what? This guy's doing tariffs based on his mood. According to France's President Emmanuel Macron, France is now providing 2/3 of intelligence supplied to Ukraine by its partners. This change is to counteract the dependence of Ukraine on US military intelligence, as it has been used by Donald Trump as some kind of pressure instrument against Ukraine. Let's hope this conflict just soon comes to an end, okay? Can we not just try peace for like 2 or 3 weeks and see how it actually is? Like, can we not just try it out for a few weeks? And then we can see if we're gonna want to go back to war? I just want some peace, man. Agents and officers in Minneapolis that were deployed by Trump turned to a very strict and forceful method of proving US citizenship. More and more encounters on social media pop up where agents and officers forcefully stop people and demand identification and proof of US citizenship. That's against the First Amendment, by the way. US is really turning to Nazi Germany. Like, what the fuck? What are they, the fucking Gestapo? I hope that everyone who voted for this guy is actually ashamed for the thing they have created, for the thing they've let into the office. Like, what the fuck? What is next? They line up people and shoot them on sight? Like, publicly execute them? What the fuck? China has decided to stop importing electricity from Russia. This decision was driven by high export prices, which from January 2026 surpassed domestic Chinese rates for the first time. I mean, although this is due to economic reason, let's just hope it makes a dent into Russia's economy and it could stop the war. Please. We would have one less conflict on this goddamn world to worry about. Prime Minister Mark Carney has agreed to cut its 100% tariff on Chinese electric cars in return for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products. Carney stated that the US, longtime ally and neighbor of Canada, has become a less predictable partner, which made the deal with China easier. Wow, another blow for the US. Who would have thought, with a lunatic like that at the top, and all the tariffs you're doing and the threats you're giving out? Like, what the fuck? Guys, you will be having some serious problems if this continues. A judge ruled that agents and officers can't detain or tear gas peaceful protesters. Wow, so basically human rights still exist. Wow, I can't even believe a judge has to rule on that. What the fuck is wrong with your country? What is wrong with it, man? Why is that even... That doesn't need to be ruled. What are we even talking about? Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has said that intelligence reports indicate Russia is preparing for new large-scale attacks against Ukraine. We hope that everyone in the Ukraine can stay safe and that these attacks fail or do not happen. Please. More updates on the tariff thematic. France's President Emmanuel Macron said that the threat of tariffs by US President Donald Trump over Greenland was unacceptable. If these threats are confirmed, there will be a coordinated response by Europe. Does Trump not realize that he cannot just bully countries into giving him whatever he wants, especially countries that are economically stable or have other partners like EU countries? Does he not realize that? That's not like Venezuela. EU is a completely different powerhouse, man. More threats from President Trump when it comes to tariffs. This time around, he's targeting individual countries. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland would face the tariff. The rate would climb to 25% on June 1st if no deal was in place for the complete and total purchase of Greenland by the United States, Trump stated. The only thing I can do is just shake my head. That's literally the only thing I can do. Manfred Weber, president of the European People's Party, said on Saturday that agreement with the US is no longer possible. European Union lawmakers are poised to block approval of the EU's trade deal because of US President Donald Trump's vote to impose tariffs on countries that support Greenland in the face of American threats. I mean, that's to be expected. Of course EU will fight back. Like, what did he expect? Did they just say, yeah, we're going to accept the deal? What? Zavala, a social media personality, believed he could take a body shot from a real boxer. Boxer Ryan Garcia then proceeded to punch him, while Zavala's friends made sure to hold him in place so he wouldn't dodge. Good thing he was standing against the wall, so there was no way for the shock to be absorbed. Garcia then landed a body shot on Zavala's liver, and Zavala was left vomiting and bleeding. 911 was called after the incident occurred. How stupid can you be? Both of them, by the way. Like, overestimating yourself and thinking, yeah, I can take a body shot from a boxer, and the other boxer hitting him in the goddamn liver. That shit can be fatal, by the way. If the liver ruptures, that guy's dead. That he just bleeds out. Internal bleeding, whatever. That shit can be lethal. Do not joke around with that. A source called True Gaming on X started saying that a Resident Evil 5 remake will be announced very soon. This rumor is based on the voice actor for character Shiva Alomer saying something was in the works earlier last year. This is just a rumor for now, but it could also not just be about a game, but about a movie or a show or something like that. Ever thought about that? Abigail Spanberger made a decisive move. She vetoed Executive Order 47, ending Virginia's participation in the federal 287G program that allowed local law enforcement to act as ICE agents. Virginia does not need voluntary collaboration with ICE to keep communities safe. Wow, a sane person in the powerful position. That's something cool. That's something cool. India has imposed a 30% import duty on pulses and lentils originating from the United States. Official sources said that the tariff has been in effect since October last year, though it was implemented without public announcement. The decision is widely viewed as a retaliatory measure after high tariffs were imposed earlier by the US on certain Indian products. That's only the first wave, by the way. This will get way worse if Trump continues to behave that way. Amid US President Donald Trump's persistent annexation threats, Greenland categorically ruled out joining the United States. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen said that the Arctic territory prefers to be in union with Denmark. Trump is continuing with his threats regardless. Of course this guy won't take no for an answer. He never did. We need more steps against him, more active steps. The Trump administration has told countries that want a permanent spot in the new Gaza Board of Peace, BOP, that they must contribute at least $1 billion. This new Gaza Board of Peace will be responsible for rebuilding the Gaza Strip and ensuring Hamas's disarmament. This is such a clear trap, it's insane. This money will not go towards rebuilding the Gaza Strip, it will fill Trump's pockets. I surely hope that no one will currently join this board, and later on, when this pest is finally removed, hopefully, the countries then can join, okay? I'm not against rebuilding the Gaza Strip, by the way. I'm just very, very, very sure that this is such a clear fucking trap. Russian officials welcomed US President Donald Trump's threat to impose tariffs on NATO allies over Greenland. These threats could signal the collapse of the transatlantic alliance. Yeah, of course they're celebrating. Trump is actively weakening Europe with his goddamn dumb, stupid moves. European capitals may hit the US with 93 billion euros worth of tariffs. That's around $107.71 billion. That's to restrict American companies from the bloc's market in response to US President Donald Trump's threats to NATO allies. EU is really stepping up to stop Trump from doing whatever he wants, and I really, really appreciate that. We need more of this, more active things. Not just sitting around passively, more active things. France's President Emmanuel Macron will ask the European Union to activate its powerful anti-coercion instrument if the United States imposes additional tariffs. The bloc's weapon, which has never been used before and is dubbed its trade bazooka, allows for curbing imports of goods and services. That's a pretty harsh step if that goes through, but honestly, this is a step that could stop Trump from doing whatever he wants, and I hope it fucking does. Chinese customs authorities told custom agents this week that Nvidia's H200 artificial intelligence chips are not permitted to enter China, and another step towards punishing the US and its economy. And that is it for this week's Mochi Mail. I hope you enjoyed it. World news are really depressing right now. I will be very honest. US is more and more turning into Nazi Germany with how it's handling people that were not born in the US or even people that were born in the US. The US is actively weakening Europe, which of course Russia enjoys because that is two less threats to them. The US is constantly trying to isolate itself from other allies, which is stupid for its future, by the way. This will not hold out. We are actually on the brink of fucking World War III if this continues. We might have a fight between America and Europe on European territory if this continues. That's insane. That's insane. And this is not the only conflict. We have Russia and Ukraine. We have protests all over the world being answered with violence. We have so many conflicts to worry about. It's sickening. We are 3 weeks into January. Not even. Not even. I hope this will get better, but it's so depressing to follow. It's insane. I hope you can all stay safe, and I hope that this will be over soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode.